are two Monday night games this week. Chiefs at the Bills is the early Monday night game. This is at 5:00, I believe. So the Chiefs are favored by 3.5 so far. There are only a couple of sports books that have this line posted. So this isn't available everywhere, and we can only assume that this line's probably going to change a little bit based on what happens tonight, or it might stay the same. But if this line is Chiefs favored by 3.5 at Buffalo, who do you like here?
I like the Chiefs. The reason I'm going with them is it's never smart to bet against an elite quarterback coming off a loss. And I think the Chiefs were looking ahead to this Bills game. We talked about this last week. We didn't think that they would cover 11.5 against the Raiders because they'd be looking ahead to this, what was supposed to be a Thursday night game at that time. They ended up losing to the Raiders outright and giving up 3 points, which was rather shocking at the end of the day. But Derek Carr and the Raiders offense looked good, so props to them. I'm not sure that the Bills are going to be healthy. They're dealing with some injuries stacked at corner right now. Tre'Davious White and Levi Wallace are both hurt. Tre'Davious White is actually not playing tonight because of the back injury. I have the Bills inactives on another screen, so that's going to be big. I don't know if he's going to be ready for next Monday night. He could be, and if he is, I might rethink this. But if they're down their top 2 corners, and Josh Norman suddenly the number 1 there, or whoever else they have, Teron Johnson, I think plays in the slot, could also maybe play outside. I think that the Chiefs will be able to take advantage of that because they have the best quarterback in the league and a bunch of good receiving weapons, even without Sammy Watkins. And I think the Chiefs defense is going to have to adjust to being beaten deep by the Raiders to beat this Bills team because Josh Allen has a cannon arm. But I also think that the Raiders, so much of what we've seen them do and Derek Carr do is, target the middle of the field with Waller and Renfro and not really look to throw deep. But they had Henry Ruggs in that game. And I don't think Kansas City was ready to contain the deep element that he added there. So I think they weren't ready for that. I think they'll be ready for Buffalo. So I'm on Chiefs minus 3.5. We'll see how this line moves before I lock in any sort of unit count. But if this was the line, this is what I would do.
Yeah, so if the Bills are healthier than what we think they are, as you described them, then I think I would pick them here because I don't think they deserve to be home underdogs of more than 3 against the Chiefs. They're one of the best teams in the NFL. So to get a home underdog of 3.5 or more, being one of the best teams in the NFL, I think is a great bargain, especially with the Chiefs missing KC Osemele last week. When he got injured, I don't think they didn't score that many points afterward. They only had 7 points, or I guess 8 points in the second half. And that was in garbage time. And so Patrick Mahomes is constantly running for his life. They're down. They're already down Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, and now they're down KC Osemele. So that's a big deal. They had Mike Remmers playing. He was just terrible. He couldn't block anyone. And the Raiders' pass rush isn't even that good. They're putting a lot of pressure on Patrick Mahomes. And now you have a Buffalo defensive line that's a lot better. So they could really rattle Mahomes like the Raiders did. But if what you're saying is true and the Bills are missing 2 cornerbacks, and I assume they're going to be missing at least 1, and then Matt Milano, one of the better linebackers in the NFL, if he's out as well, that's just so problematic for the Bills. And then you touched on this too, Patrick Mahomes coming off a loss. I don't have the numbers on that, but his spread record is phenomenal right now. So I imagine it's close to 100%. So yeah, I mean, if the Bills have injury problems, I will be on the Chiefs. If suddenly all the other guys return, then I will be on the Bills.
Yeah, I think Levi Wallace is on IR, so he definitely won't be back. Right. I don't know how close White and Milano are to coming back. If they both come back, then I might switch my pick here. If even one of them is out, I'll probably stick with Kansas City. I'm not going to bet a ton on it. If say Tre'Davious White comes back, then I probably won't bet a ton on it. But yeah, you make a good point, though. Anytime a team loses a good offensive lineman like KC Osemele, he's been playing very well this year. And we know the Chiefs don't have great depth at that position. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. Maybe they can go out and sign our guy, Cordy Glenn, who has set a record, I think, for most mentions on this podcast at this point. Because we talk about him all the time. He's still out there. He could play some guard if you needed him to.
Very nice. Yeah, we had to get Cordy Glenn in there for sure. And yeah, I don't know why he's still available. Like I know he gets hurt a lot. But yeah, I mean, why not sign him? By the way, Patrick Mahomes 5-3 against the spread after a loss, 6-2 straight up. His two losses against the spread were against the Seahawks. Remember they had that Sunday night game at Seattle, and then at the Texans last year. Or against the Texans last year, like early in the year. But the Chiefs are missing like half the roster in that game. I remember like Chris Jones was out, Eric Fisher was out, a bunch of other guys. Tyreek Hill was coming back from injury. Mahomes was limping around. So yeah, that was not a good look for the Chiefs back then, and it was early in the year. So I don't think Mahomes is that focused. So yeah, it's usually a good bet to bet quarterbacks, a great quarterbacks off a loss.